going turtle mode.
Turtle mode.
To get this shipped, and we don't know exactly when that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's
Before TennoCon.
So if you remember the past 2 years, we've always tried to not do a major update before TennoCon, but we've done it anyway.
Why not?
Why not?
Yep.
Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from The Gay Guy Plays, and today on #Confirmed, we are digging into Devstream 112 to deliver you some of the biggest news of what's to come with Warframe. Now, I do want to give you guys a big heads up. Of course, we did cover the new frame yesterday, so I won't really be covering them here today. So if you want to check out more information on Vlad, I'll actually be leaving a card up in the corner as well as a link in the description box and an end card. We're going to cover all angles with that just in case you want to see him, because I did do a whole dedicated video for him yesterday. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, or you want to leave all of your feelings in those comments, definitely make sure to go ahead and do that. However, let's start with the fucking they just dropped it. They just literally dropped it in our laps, and I'm like, huh? In fact, I think that I was so shocked that I didn't want to believe what they said that I may have tuned it out, because apparently I didn't go crazy on social media about it, but I went back to watch the dev stream again, and they did announce that they are trying to release the sacrifice before TennoCon. That is right. They said before TennoCon. I don't know how I missed this. I think I was just in disbelief, but it does kind of follow suit because they have always launched either updates during TennoCon. They did that to us like year one. Then they did another release before TennoCon last year, and now they're going to be doing it again. So this is going to be their big release, and they did say that. The reason I'm laughing is because I'm like, good luck. We'll see. I'm not the kind of person who buys into the DE laid meme very much. I'm like, it'll be ready when it's ready. But like, you got like 30 days. You got 30-ish days to get this together. So hopefully they're able to deliver, and hopefully we'll be able to cover that on the channel soon, because that will be very, very freaking exciting, especially because of the lore behind it. And I think that's really the big importance. I know that a lot of people are after Umbra and after their Excalibur Prime replacement, so this is a nice way for those people to get there, but I want to know exactly what we're sacrificing. I want to hear it down in the comments below. This is something that I've done on stream. You think Lotus is gonna die? I think she gonna be dead. Just weigh in, because legitimately I got a feeling they're literally going to Infinity Wars her ass. Just, I ain't feeling so good, Tenno. That's where I'm at with that right now. Now moving along, well, let's go ahead and talk about the fact that the PS4 and Xbox console update has been shipped to CERT. So if you guys are curious at all as to when your next update is coming, it will be coming soon. From what I hear, they usually tend to release it on like Tuesdays, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But it has been released to CERT, so as long as it gets approved, you guys should be seeing, I believe, the Saren update and all of that kind of stuff should be on its way to you guys. So that'll be nice and exciting, and then you can weigh in on how you feel about the new Saren. Now, let's move on to, they did cover the dojo a lot. They showed out amazing dojo. Listen, I didn't buy into a lot of the dojo bullshit until I saw this dojo, and I was like, wow, it is absolutely gorgeous. So just so that you guys know, they're going to be releasing a Naturals pack coming soon, and that should give you the ability to make even more elaborate shit than, you know, what they're doing in this dojo. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I looked at that and I was like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. Wow, I will never have the time to do that as much as I want to. Sorry, Mogamu, you're gonna have to help your dojo yourself, okay? But moving along from that, one of the things that I want to kind of pull out and extrapolate a little bit that they had talked about was the fact that they were saying, can we get like NPC decorations in the dojos? And I think this might be a clue into something that will release at TennoCon, maybe, because they were saying, oh, we're not sure about it, but it is definitely an option because, you know, it ties into something else that we're doing, but we can't really talk about. So what else would it be when it comes to NPCs and the dojo that they could possibly be tying into? And me and Mog were talking about this yesterday, but of course, the whole, what is it called? The whole, like, Kingpin rival system? you know, where we had a lot of those different kind of like bosses and whatnot that we had to fight, and you know, we're gonna help these syndicates and all of that kind of, or not help these syndicates, but we're supposed to be battling these syndicates and whatnot. So you never know, maybe we'll be rescuing some people from there, and then we'll be able to put them in our dojos. But that's really the only system that we're currently thinking of in our brain that could potentially tie into NPC dojo decorations, because we will get a new dojo room for that. So I don't know, we'll see if that happens. The next big thing that we wanted to go ahead and chat about was the exalted weapons that are now going to be just separately moddable, which I think is absolutely fantastic. I know that they had mentioned it on stream that a lot of people were very, very worried as to you know, we're gonna have to spend Forma and Catalyst and all of that kind of stuff there. So they did want to take time on the stream to explain what they were doing with it and give you guys a heads up as to what they are trying to do. Now, they did start off straight out of the gate saying that they are still working on assets for each of these, so expect like a slower rollout. So who knows, maybe we'll get Valkyr's rollout first, then we'll get like Excalibur's, and so on and so forth down the line. One of the things that they did want to clarify are these are specifically for exalted weapons. So Atlas's fists, Gara's glass sword, and I'm assuming that Korra's whip are also not going to be included in those separately moddable things. Those will just pull mods from weapons. But when we are talking about exalted weapons, we're talking about Excalibur's exalted blade, Valkyr's claws, Wukong's staff. Those will actually have its own separate. Now, one of the things that they wanted to make note of is that they are not going to be blank. They are planning to add some polarities in and are looking to see exactly what's fair, so that you're not going to start off with just this empty thing that you're going to have to form up from scratch. However, they did make note that for people who, you know, wanted to push that Warframe to another level and make them even more powerful, that, you know, we probably will have to invest some Forma in there. And to be completely honest with you, I think that's fair. That's absolutely fair. However, the one thing that they need to do, and this is very, very important, DE, is if there are going to be mods that do not work with these weapons, such as like Condition Overload or Body Count and Bloodlust, or Body Count and Blood Rush. Why do I always say, listen, it's Drifting Contact and Blood Rush. You know what I'm saying. It's just force of habit. It's old man force of habit. But you need to like red out those cards. So like when we're scrolling through, we need like a definitive no bitch, you can't use this, and just make it very, very evident to us that these weapons do not jive with these mods, just to make it clear. Plus I know that you guys are working on the new UI system, so please include that. I don't want to have to sit there and like have to do it every single time. It'll be easier for newer players who are like, oh, I guess I can't put this in, right? So that's definitely one of the things. But in addition to that, they will allow duplicate mods. So if you're using, let's say if you only have one copy of Blood Rush, you'll be able to, oh, let's not say that. If you only have one copy of Primed Fury, let's pretend, you only have one copy of Primed Fury, you'll be able to take that copy of Primed Fury and both put it on your melee weapon and on the exalted weapon, and it's fine. They're not gonna force you out of that and to have double mods. So don't even worry about that. It'll work very similarly to Venari, so you're fine. The next thing that they did want to mention is that it will not give you mastery. Okay, you've already got the Warframe. The Warframe is going to be the one that gives you the mastery. The weapon is just there for you to play around with. And last but not least, because I know a lot of people were worrying from the Form aspect and also the Catalyst aspect, is yes, they will come catalysted. Now, the only thing that I'm wondering about is, will it come catalysted if your Warframe isn't catalysted? Or is it like when you put a catalyst on your Warframe, will you end up getting the bonus to the exalted weapon as well? Or will the exalted weapon just always be catalysted regardless? Let me know, because I'm definitely very, very curious about that. Now, they also did show, and these are just kind of like a couple little things that are kind of going with the whole Melee aspect. They touched on Melee 3.0 very quickly. They didn't really say too much about what was going on with it, but they did show several weapons that they're thinking about releasing with Melee 3.0. So they showed off this really, really cool looking Grineer blade. Right now they're looking at it and they're like, I think it's going to be a heavy blade. We're not sure exactly what weapon stance it's going to use, but I'm going to be honest with you, it looks pretty gosh darn dope. They even showed off these kind of like, they were saying that it was going to be a sword and like a shorter sword or something like that, and it's very Tenno-like. Looks pretty simple, nothing too crazy about that, but the really interesting one was the Infested Greatsword. And this one looks really dope. I cannot wait to get my hands on this one. I hope it'll have some good stats, and I hope it'll have some interesting effects too. Regardless, that was pretty much the big news that they went ahead and touched on this latest dev stream, aside of course from Vlad. They did spend a decent amount of time talking about his, what is it called? His, like, his theme and what he would do. They showed off the abilities, but check out that other video to see me talk in full length about that and to break down his ability set. Because if I'm going to be honest with you, the way that it explained it, you really kind of had to dig to make sure that you fully understood what their meaning was. But I did also want to point out that yesterday Rebecca tweeted out that was the first time that Steve had seen the skill set for the Eidolon vampire. I was like, what am I going to call Vlad? So do expect some changes, because that's definitely not going to be the finalized version. He's like, wait a second, we need to make some changes here. So keep that in mind. That's just the working build for it now, which means we probably won't see this frame until after TennoCon, maybe even with the new update or something. Regardless, that about does it for me for now. Let me know, are you excited? And also, can we take bets? Like, we already talked about Lotus being dead. I think she's dead. Also, let me know down in the comments below, do you think that they will get this quest out before TennoCon? Because as many of you guys know, me and Mogamu have a running bet. We have a running bet. I bet that it's going to come out before TennoCon, before they ever said any of this. Now the question is, will they make it before TennoCon? Regardless, that about does it for me for now. Leave all of your feelings down in the comment section below. And as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.